Hey friends, it's Olivia. I just wanted to speak about what's been on my mind recently and get some things off my chest. As much as I tried to hold back, I can no longer stay silent and ask that you please just hear me out. I'm going to be reading off a script I wrote, so my apologies if I sound robotic. But this is basically the toxicity of the Melanie Martinez fandom and a reflection on my thoughts and feelings. Over time, the Melanie Martinez fandom has evolved from a group of passionate fans appreciating her art to one that has, in many ways, grown toxic. I was just 16 when I first became a fan of Melanie's music. It felt like a safe space for those of us who resonated with her unique sound and raw, emotionally charged lyrics. Her songs address complex themes such as mental health, self-image, and societal expectations, and they become anthems for many people struggling with similar issues. However, as the fandom grew in size and controversies resurfaced, I began to notice a shift that made me uncomfortable. A shift towards an unhealthy and sometimes even harmful environment. I've noticed that a majority of minors now make up the fandom nowadays, and most were just babies when this all happened. I'm now 25. One of the major reasons the Melanie Martinez fandom has become toxic is the way fans have developed an almost obsessive attachment to her persona, sometimes blurring the line between admiration and extreme idolization. Most are still children and do not have the brain capacity to understand what has happened and how to empathize with the individuals that may feel hurt by Melanie's actions. Many fans hold Melanie to a pedestal where every word and action she makes is scrutinized and overanalyzed. It creates a culture of unrealistic expectations where any mistake or misstep she has is met with harsh criticism or even personal attacks. This toxic behavior, where fans feel entitled to dictate how she should live her life or express herself, not only harms Melanie, but also perpetuates a sense of insecurity and perfectionism among the fan base. Another aspect of the toxicity lies in the fandom's tendency to create cliques and foster an us versus them mentality. Fans are often quick to ostracize or bully people who don't share the same exact views on Melanie's music or personal life. It's like saying Melanie can do no wrong because she's a famous icon. This creates a very exclusionary atmosphere where differences in opinion are met with hostility rather than respectful discussion. Fans turn on each other over trivial disagreements about interpretations of her songs or whether she's being genuine enough with her public persona. I've seen people straight up have their personal addresses leaked over an opinion. It's disheartening to witness people who claim to be a part of the community of acceptance but turn on each other so easily. I really do hope it's because they don't have the full mentality rate us adults do. Moreover, there has been a troubling trend in the fandom where some members glorify the darker, more controversial aspects of Melanie's music and public persona. While her art often delves into uncomfortable taboo subjects, this doesn't give anyone the right to romanticize unhealthy behaviors or ideas. I've seen fans idolize toxic relationships, self-destructive behaviors, and harmful mindsets in a way that feels dangerously close to encouraging such behaviors in real life. The most recent controversy is from the Crybaby era coloring book, specifically the soap image. It depicts Melanie's character Crybaby in a bathtub with her feet poking out while having a bar of soap shoved in her mouth while she is making an uncomfortable face. Some see this as sexual abuse material, and I can somewhat see that point of view. As someone who has had the soap in the mouth punishment before, I get where some are coming from, but I believe that there is a better way to portray the image. Another is in the Pacify Her music video. There's a scene where one of the characters proceeds to unbutton her top and expose herself to the love interest, Blue Boy. This is seen as okay in some parts, but I found it a little off-putting because they're supposed to be playing children. I also noticed that the dress she wears in the video is notorious ABDL, Adult Baby Diaper Lover. I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum, but I'm just saying, just know that there's a fine line between age play and age regression. To the people who are saying that we are sexualizing and thinking like a rapist over certain things, we're not here to attack anyone. We just want you to see that what could possibly be misinterpreted for something else. And as much as it sucks, even our favorite artists can make poor decisions. Instead of taking Melanie's music as a form of catharsis or expression of vulnerability, some fans seem to view it as a justification for their own pain or negative actions, which distorts the original intent behind her work. I personally feel like some songs profited off of some people's trauma. And lastly, the overwhelming sense of gatekeeping within the fandom has also been a factor in its toxicity. Many fans believe they are true supporters of Melanie, and if someone is perceived as a fake fan or doesn't have the same level of commitment or knowledge about her, they are subjected to ridicule or exclusion. This elitism runs contrary to the inclusive and supportive atmosphere that a fan community should foster. It creates unnecessary division, turning what should be a safe space into an area for judgment and one-upmanship. In conclusion, while I still enjoy Melanie Martinez's music and appreciate the way it has spoken to my own experiences, I can't help but feel disillusioned by the toxic aspects of her fandom. It's difficult to watch community that was once a place of solace and understanding turn into a breeding ground for negativity, unrealistic expectations, and harmful behavior. For me, it's a reminder that fandoms, no matter how supportive they may start out, can easily become overwhelmed by unhealthy dynamics if they're not turned with care, respect, and a focus on mutual understanding. Moving forward, I will probably least likely be purchasing any more overly expensive merch or attending any future concerts. I still admire her from an objective standpoint and will still listen to her music every once in a while because some songs have personally grown onto me. I want to try and separate the art from the artist. This is in no way trying to make Melanie look bad, just hoping that she will grow from her past mistakes and just to open a conversation about her discography. If you do not agree with any of the previous statements I have made and no longer wish to associate with me, that is completely fine and I understand. However, hate/death threats will not be tolerated. Thanks for hearing me out, and remember, stay squeezy.